Welcome back to LimpQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which is today in 131 days. Today is the 31st of December. I'm basically around 8 hours away from 2023, which is also happens to be the release year of Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe for you guys it's already 2023. I hope you are enjoying the new year. If you are, tell me if it's any different. Have you maybe already seen a Tears of the Kingdom teaser or something? Or, you know, maybe it just feels the same. That being said, I hope you guys are having a great beginning to your new year. And I just obviously wanted to say that real quick. Tomorrow I am actually also planned to... Oh, what? I did not know you could trigger Nadra's cutscene here, but I'll take it. Wait, this is actually faster. I'm not even kidding, this is faster for the speedrun for 100%. I just clipped it. Anyway, obviously I'm still making a video today. I have around 7.5 hours left for this year. And I want to talk about something today that I'm planning on doing on my Twitch channel at the beginning of the year. Tomorrow's video is going to be all about my plans for 2023, Tears of the Kingdom and stuff. I think that makes sense. But today, I kind of want to talk to you about the most broken Breath of the Wild speedrun. And why do I want to talk about it? Why do I want to do the speedrun? I kind of teased yesterday. The most broken speedrun is All Dungeons Extended. A speedrun that revolves around doing every single Divine Beast in the game, but also the DLC exclusive dungeon, the final trial with the boss fight against Monk Mascotia. So, if you watched my recent videos, I'm currently developing or working on a speedrun that I call the true 100% speedrun, where you basically do like everything that the game has to offer. I made my own rule set for it, and I'm excited to be running it. But in order to actually get good at that speedrun, and in order to, you know, play as good as I can, I need some DLC practice. And one good thing and way, in my opinion, to practice the DLC content of the game is the All Dungeons Extended speedrun. I will kind of explain you what it's all about, what makes it so broken, and give you a brief explanation of everything. I think it's extremely cool. So, in All Dungeons Extended, you start out by completing the Great Plateau as usual, because you have to. You get the tower, because you're gonna want to warp as well. And then immediately things get really broken. It's probably one of the most tech-heavy and most sequence-broken runs that we actually have in the game. So, once you finish the Great Plateau, you make your way over to Rito Village. But before you go to Rito Village, you stop by Hyrule Castle and pick up some items, such as Ancient Arrows and also Thunderblade, important for later. And then you make your way to the Fairy Fountain in Tabantha, close to Rito Village first, before you continue. Because you need some fairies. It will make sense why. Then you make your way to Rito Village. And in Rito Village, you start the quest for the first Divine Beast, the Bird Var Meadow. Once you've started the quest, you perform the good old IST glitch. I talked about that yesterday, the biggest discovery of last year, for me it is still this year, of 2022. A glitch that allows you to corrupt your inventory. What you do in that glitch is you basically get yourself 999 fairies so that you are unkillable. You get yourself 1,000 plus ancient arrows so that you can kill every enemy really quickly, and some extra food items like attack up food and stamina food for something later. So then you make your way towards the flight range, where you would usually begin the quest, where you obviously have to attack the Divine Beast Var Meadow, the birds. But before you start the flight range section, oh, nice ice block, you perform one of the game's biggest tricks, and this category's biggest tricks, called the Shrine Coordinate Warp. I talked about this in another video before. You take the shrine that's right next to the flight range, and you store its elevator. So basically you make it so that the game remembers that you were supposed to enter that shrine, and then you walk a little bit closer towards the flight range, and then you actually trigger the cutscene of entering the shrine. And what the game will do is, instead of putting you inside the shrine close to the flight range, it's already, even though you have no right to be there, going to put you inside the DLC shrine that gets unlocked much later, that's on the bottom of the flight range. Essentially skipping that DLC puzzle that you're usually supposed to do to even be able to enter that shrine. Also, I really need food. I guess I'm gonna have to eat some apples for now. Gonna have to stop by for some food soon. So you enter the DLC Flight Range Shrine very early and to get it out of the way. Then you make your way back up the flight range, attack Meadow, the bird with all of the speedrun strats, and finish that quest. You get the Great Eagle Bow, which is going to be your main source of damage throughout the run. And then you make your way towards Gerudo Town, because that's where the next Divine Beast is. In Gerudo Town, on your way there, you activate the Kataka Shrine, which is the shrine encased in ice, which is going to be a very important shrine for this run, because if you watched my All Shrines No Runes video, this shrine has an infinite unload radius, allowing us to use the shrine coordinate warp trick globally on the map. So we can store the cutscene for this shrine and then go on the opposite side of the map and still enter other shrines, even if they're still underground, with this one, because of its ice block. But it's technically not because of the ice block, it's because of specific conditions that this shrine has, and also the dragon shrines. This one has an infinite unload radius. So from here, you make your way to Gerudo Town, get the outfit, start that quest. And then you constantly, basically, go inside this Kataka shrine and then do every single Great Plateau DLC shrine early. So you skip the One-Hit Obliterator completely, starting the DLC with only having beaten one single Divine Beast. And that breaks the game completely. Now, for example, when you do other Divine Beasts like Var Meadow, the Divine Beast is like really dark and kind of foggy because it's in the state of where it's supposed to be much later when you do the Thunderblade Ganon refight. At the end of the DLC, you have to refight all of the Blights. The Divine Beast is already confused. You, basically, the entire premise of the run is that you constantly do DLC shrines early. You break the sequence of the run. And, by the way, I haven't explained this yet, but the reason why is because there is no real early way to enter the final dungeon. The only way to do it is by doing all Divine Beast refights. That's right now the only way to do it. So you have to essentially get all of the DLC, the 16 DLC shrines done, while also completing Divine Beast, which makes for a really cool showcase of the game. You see a little bit of everything. You see some cool cutscenes. You get upgraded Divine Beast powers. It's really cool, really epic. There are some things that are a little bit annoying, like the Water Blight Ganon refight. If some of you have done this refight, you know why. It really sucks. I'm sure if you've done it, you know why, especially in Master Mode. And you essentially complete these DLC shrines early with the Shrine Coordinate Warp trick, break the sequence of the game. It's really sick. Later on, for example, you take one of the DLC shrines that's up here where all of the Guardians are, go all the way over to the Death Mountain and enter a DLC shrine this way, skipping flying down the mountain and all of the rings. You skip so much. And not necessarily the cool parts. I mean, some people might consider that the cool part, flying down the rings. But it's such a cool, interesting route. And that's basically the main premise of it. But what it all culminates in, which is, in my opinion, the most interesting, also intense part of the run, because it's pretty much right at the end, is obviously the final dungeon. And some of you may have already seen what I'm about to explain to you, or heard what I'm about to explain to you, which is the final dungeon skip. Now, we do all of this work to finally be able to access the final dungeon, to finally be able to challenge Monk Mascotia, right? And once we are in there, we immediately skip all of it. Now, the way the final dungeon works is actually really interesting, at least to me. So the final dungeon is one giant map that contains the final dungeon, like all of those 4 chambers where you solve puzzles, depending on, like, all of them are kind of themed towards some of the beasts. One is like lava themed, one is like wind themed, etc. And then also a chamber at the end where you, once you've once you've cleared these chambers, right, you gain access to the monk that you can interact with, and then the fight starts. Now, this giant map actually also contains the arena with the monk. The arena that you fight Monk Mascotia at. That's like supposedly on top of the Great Plateau, kind of hovering around there. It makes it seem like it's flying around the Great Plateau. It's not. And what you see on the bottom is not the Great Plateau. It's just a low polygon version of it. Also, have I ever gotten this Korok seed? I haven't, so I'm gonna show you a pretty cool trick. Watch this. Do you ever have issues with these apple Koroks? I'm not gonna show you a really cool trick because I have no bomb arrows. The idea was basically to shoot a bomb arrow so that the tree falls down. Solving the puzzle on its own. If you've never seen me do this, one way to these annoying apple Koroks is by stasising the apple that has to be kept in place and then just cutting down the tree it's on. Maybe I can help someone out with this still. But yeah, so you go in the final dungeon, you, and because that map of the arena exists on the same map, what we do is we clip out of bounds, then do a ton of mid-air out-of-bounds wind bombs to travel all the way to this arena that's completely somewhere else on the map. It takes like 2 minutes to travel to. But traveling in there, the monk is already there. So now we can challenge the monk without doing the final dungeon. One unfortunate downside is that you don't hear the epic monk music. Oh, because I have no bomb barrels equipped, I can't go into bullet time. You don't hear the epic monk fight music, but the fight is still pretty hype, still pretty intense actually, regardless of being so broken. Would definitely recommend you checking it out. You could also check it out on my stream, because I'm going to be doing it at the beginning of the year. And yeah, you basically skip the entire final dungeon. It's an extremely tech-heavy speedrun. It features wind bombs, it features BTBs, it features BLSS, it features different version of the shrine coordinate warp trick. It features even a buffered version where you like always pause your game. You've probably heard me talk about that before. It's for being a sub 3 hour run, under 3 hours ideally, it features the most amount of trick density ever. You skip the final dungeon and you still see like all of the major plot points of the game, other than maybe the Master Sword. But I feel like the Master Sword is not really the same these days anymore, because you can get it so easily early with the campfire glitch. That I really like the speedrun. It's gonna help me to basically oh god, Nadra, please. Wow, that was definitely not close at all. It's gonna help me to, you know, clean up my DLC gameplay and get ready for my true 100% speedrun. Obviously, this was not a great explanation of it because I was playing the game at the same time. I'm planning to make a fully commentated run of this in the future on my main channel, because I think it is such a trick, dense and cool speedrun. And yeah, that being said, we freed Nadra. I think this is a good sign, a good omen for the new year, you know, which is about to happen for me in, well, in like 7 hours. Again, I hope you guys have a great start to the new year. I will still be uploading every single day until Tears of the Kingdom, which tomorrow I will talk about my plans for this channel after Tears of the Kingdom is released, and also my main channel if you're interested in that at all, where we continue to play. But I think this is a beautiful way to end this episode and this year of uploads. I've been uploading for like 80 plus days now. Thank you always, as always, for, you know, commenting, watching the videos, just hanging out with me. I also appreciate you if you never commented, never liked, and you just watch these videos, put them in the background. I genuinely think that's really cool. That being said, I hope you have a great start to your year. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow.